Hi, Candice. Thank you for joining me today. I am so delighted we're going to have this conversation and welcome.
Thank you so much, Brenda. I'm very happy to be here.
Maybe introduce yourself. Tell me just a little bit about yourself, your website, if you may.
Yeah, my name is Candice Faven Bridge Davis, and I am a channel for Zorian and a few other beings in a collective. And I have been in the healing space for really about 15 years. And my website is risingfromwithin.me. And I think what makes this whole thing beautiful is that the earth is changing. And so when Zorian came to me to share his wisdom and teach the knowledge of the new human, you have to kind of just open up and say, yes, let's do this. And it's been an adventure ever since.
I love it. And today we're here to learn about Zoran, your guides, and his prime, purpose and message and what his thought is for humanity's evolution and where we're going to be going. I think this is going to be a really beautiful conversation we're going to have. I am Brenda Zyburt. I have my own website, brendazyburt.com. I am an author, speaker, and I have a lot going on with Awaken Magazine right now. So thank you again for coming. And if you are ready, because I know you do monthly sessions where everybody can come and listen, and Zorian does teachings, which are phenomenal, and that you also do sessions, personal one-on-one as a channel, but then you also do sessions with yourself and Zorian with people, which is phenomenal, I must say, because I've had one and I love it. So if you're ready to go into channel, and then I'll bring out Zorian and I'll start asking him a few personal details.
Yeah, thank you for asking questions because that really helps him to understand the human process. And
Mhm.
I learn something every time people ask him questions because I don't always remember being in a trance channel. Sometimes they let me listen in on things, but usually it's just them working through my heart space. And then my heart translates the energies they give me into words. And I'm like, what did they say? I'll go from there. But
A
yeah,
great
give me a
point. I
moment.
think it's a great point before you get in channel. What is a trans channel?
It is my understanding that a trance channel, the human, goes into a state similar to that, a trance or hypnosis, where their consciousness sort of steps aside. And for me, I end up in a wooded scene, kind of dancing around with fairies or in like a white room and other times. And I will hear a conversation as if I'm listening to a radio program, but I don't hear all of the words that they're saying. But what I'm listening to is me talking. Well, it's Zorian talking through me. So I'm not consciously aware of what is transpiring, but I am here in the physical. I don't leave my body. I just am sort of kind of in two places at once.
Interesting, interesting.
Mm.
Thank you. What does the energy feel like when they come in and you're parked over here and working with the fairies and having fun? What does the energy feel like in your body?
Oh, thank you for asking. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that. It feels magnificent. And if you've ever just been in a dream state where you might wake up feeling immense love and just, oh, wow, that was such a beautiful dream or beautiful space, that's what it feels like when they come in. I get a lot of pressure in the top of my head, and then the pressure sort of fills my whole body. And then I feel from the heart space an energy, like a warmth, almost feels like I'm having a hot flash. And
Yeah.
it rises up from within through my heart space. And that's usually when I go under, so to speak, or just remove myself. And then it continues. And when I come back, sometimes it's a little hard to get oriented. It takes me a few moments to kind of see where I'm at when when I come back. And then I usually have to go to the bathroom right away.
Oh yeah, all that pressure. It's interesting because when you and I, we're friends and we go into Sedona, into portals, and you channel, and I feel the love and the frequency of your collective team and Zorian and all the beings. And I personally love the energy, and it's very loving, very healing, and quite profound teachings, if I must say so myself. And I do say so myself.
Yeah, I think sometimes they can get a little sassy with people, certain people, brings out their spunkiness. But
Yeah.
the true love for every human is just immense. And I feel like I'm a sister to everybody that wants to talk to them, that there's no separation.
And I think it's beautiful that you do one-on-one sessions just as a normal psychic, but you also offer sessions with Zoran and team, your psychic with them coming in, which is a whole nother level for sessions and knowledge and just the love that opens the heart. So
Yes. Yeah. The private sessions are usually with Zorian because they love to talk to people.
yeah,
And they'll talk to anybody that has a heart and an ear that wants to listen.
yeah, I love that. All right, are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Go
They're
ahead.
already here. So I just want to get out of the way. Oh, it's so good to see you again, Brenda. It wasn't too long ago when we were blessed by your magnificence in time and space, and we are so happy to be here today. We told her that this was coming. You wouldn't just want to do one, and she wanted to break. And then we're here with you, and we're filled with ecstatic joy to be in your loving presence.
Oh, Zoran and team, thank you so much. I am honored and I love your energy and everything that you teach. It is profound and magnificent. So thank you for coming.
Oh, you teach us so much too. We kind of think that you teach us more about the human condition and how the humans are going about their lives today. And then we think we impart you with wisdom.
That is a really good point you bring up. I've always felt that with spirit, it is a two-way learning. It is, spirit learns from us being in human, and we human learn from spirit. So I love that. Yes. You know, I have a question for you, Zoran. I wanted to know if you could just collectively let us all know a little bit about yourself, possibly where you're from, if you've ever incarnated on Earth, or what galaxy are you with the Milky Way galaxy, or what planet? If you can just help us understand who you are a little bit more.
Yes, well, there's about 14 of us that are here under the collective voice of Zorian. And Zorian has agreed to be our speaker of this, for he has not been human, but has worked for many lives within the planet of your galactic humans, of which we have two galactic humans are here within the collective that she channels. And so Zorian, we can let him talk. And who is talking now? There is a Merlin clan that works closely with the elephant being that is Zorian. So, yes, I am Zorian, and who Zorian is, and we like to talk the Elephant Galactics about us and what you call the third person. We know that it might sound sort of weird to you, but I've always had a close relationships with the humans, although I have never been human myself. But I have worked with this one who's known as Candice for many lifetimes, for she has been a part of a crew of those that are here on earth to help create the earth's ascension, has worked very closely with the planet Terra herself in many different forms. And actually, I work as Zorian within the inner earth realms, allowing the portals in the crystalline grid to be of a certain frequency of nature to allow her and her beautiful volcanic, her beautiful oceanic realms to not only we don't want to explode the planet. So what I do as part of the Inner Earth team, and I, as I say, Zorian, but also as Candice for being a portal keeper, is that we work within the planetary grids in the crystalline system to keep the earth in balance, as she has on this team a water being from the planet around the Andromedan system that is a water planet of who she is a part. And that was actually her first contact many years ago that came through to enable her to work in the water realm and understand her role there. So I am not of a human, but am a galactic Merlin elfin role. You might see me as she has seen me once as a feathered dragon, as an inner earth dragon that can fly. I do not have wings, but it is in essence that the light body of my Merkaba carries me, and that can look like wings, but I am a feathered being. She knows as like a feathered dragon. And so when we came to her in collective, I was the second being that she saw, and the one that speaks for all. For there are many that are here of the 14 who do not wish to necessarily go on the microphone to express. It takes a lot of energy of lowering the frequency for her heart to be able to connect to our frequency. And I have had the most practice with her over many lifetimes, about 500 lifetimes here to be exact, or abouts if you want to call that. Some she can recall and bleed through because it does all happening now. In some where she was not awake to the fact that she brings these channels in and does the work with the earth grid. But what is happening her, and we'll just tell you with this, with the collective of the 14, because we know that you're going to ask this, is that we have come to her at this time to help with the Earth's ascension, not just with the Terra and the work that she is doing with the oceanic realms and the volcanic realms and the crystalline realms, but also with the human, because she has had so many human lives sludging through all of the densities of the human lives. She has this innate codes of the wisdom that she learned, that she is constantly broadcasting out even to those that are listening now. So there is another being, Rasha, which is also a dragon being that comes and allows the winds of the earth to carry her lighted codes all around the planet, and those with others to assist the humans. So she does multiple work, as do you, dearest Brenda, on different levels with the different patterns of ascension. And there are patterns of ascension that certain light workers work with, some realms, some different patterns, or you might call them grids, but really they are spherical balls of light that have certain geometrical patterns and tones and frequencies. So, as these balls of patterns of ascension that are coming up, she juggles quite a few. That is why there's about 14 of us who impart our wisdom through her to be able to communicate. And you, dearest Brenda, you have your own balls and patterns of light that you juggle too, as you know. We thank you for your we pause for a moment to allow you to ask.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I would ask, what is the collective message at this time for humanity that we need to like understand, align, and mm, move forward with versus, leaving the old, the new earth? What is the prime message that the collective team would like us to know?
The prime message that I think collectively you would like to hear is that you are all doing a very good job. Humans don't necessarily congratulate themselves enough, give compassion and love to themselves enough to know that they are doing a beautiful and miraculous job helping the planet ascend. There is so much talk of what do I need to do to make it go faster? What do I need to do to make my vibration higher? And all of these, and those are just human belief constructs because for generations and hundreds of lifetimes, you were really given something to do. And now we would like to say, celebrate yourselves a little bit. Give yourself that proverbial pat on the back, which is really just a hug and a love from source energy, that you are doing a perfect job, perfectly where you're at, perfectly within the situation that you find yourself in, no matter what it looks like. That situation is for you to grow in your understanding, and you are doing such beautiful work here as humans on this planet.
Thank you so much. That is very beautiful. And then I want to ask, Candice is starting a monthly teaching, which I was at in their beautiful. Can you tell us about the monthly teachings that the collective and Candice are offering now at this time for humanity to come to?
Well, we told her to do that. And so we had to tell her to do that, for she wouldn't have started doing it on her own. For she is quite stubborn in essence of her moving forward on this path that we are telling her it is time that she has to do this. We wanted to come here. We would always be here for her. But now is the time, and she had agreed to this before this final incarnation when we were all together within the soul nomad before her incarnation, and all of us went with her within this body consciousness and Merkaba of her. And so it is not for naught that we should be here with you now. And so when we told her to have these meetings once a month, we would like them to be more frequent, but she has agreed to go once a month, and that is an opportunity to really allow that the light codes of which we bring through her to assist with not only the awakening of the humans, but also with the awakening of Terra, the planet herself. For when the humans hear our words and digest the beautiful love language that we are moving out and radiating out through her, even now as we speak collectively. You take in those light codes and etheric enzymes and you implant them in the earth where you are. So you are receiving and you are giving all at once, all at the same time, without most of you being consciously aware that not only are you receiving, but you are giving. What do you give? You add that essence, which is yours, Brenda. You add that own human essence of your light specific orchestra in symphony of sound into the codes that we are radiating, and those are going through your feet and down and throughout the world. So part of the purpose, one, is to get her out of her stubborn head, but the other part of the purpose is to allow those codes to be released and sent to everyone who hears. She's not stubborn, but we would like you to know that when you have such a transformation with us coming in and telling her what to do, what would be of best for her mission now. She has this resistance, and all of you have had, in essence, some resistance as a human to the fact that you are a magnificent lighted being of love, of creator source, and you're here for a reason, and you're here for a purpose. And you may think, well, what is my purpose? And your purpose is to be here now, understanding that you have one, and to love yourself through whatever you are purposely doing in the moment. So we like to share those
Thank
things
you.
with others.
I love listening to you. It's very beautiful, the energy, and you can feel it in your heart when you come through. So thank you. The next question I would ask is Candice has been traveling around the world and she's going to Slovenia and Ireland and some other countries right now coming up. And she's been going a lot to activate the water in the water grids. Can you speak to that?
Yes, for there are transfer stations of the waters, and we told her in 2024 of your yearly calendar that there were 7 stations, of now which we have shown her 9 stations where they are transfer stations of light energy, and they are aquatic beings that are galactic, and also the humans that do travel, and the galactic humans that are here underneath the bases, underneath your oceans of the waters. And so when we told her she had to go to activate those, what was she activating? Her body holds specific frequencies of portal activations, and because she has a water being as part of her 14 incarnations throughout the universe, she is able to set a portal between the earth plane and that of the water world, of which she comes from the Andromedan constellation. And so when those portals are created, what has happened the last few years is that the crystals, these large crystals, they're physical crystals that were placed there by us in the ocean, and then the transfer stations were built on top of the crystal started to move, and that is what is causing some of your volcanic activity and earthquake activity all throughout the world. And so when she connects the portals to the higher realms and those crystals on earth, which allows them to move and vibrate and come online, that activates the transfer station to where it can release more debris from the earth plane out into the rays of light. So, as the debris is coming out, not only is the debris coming out of the earth, and then our ships are above taking away some of that debris, the solar winds from your beautiful, blessed sun in your solar system is blowing those solar plasmas to help blow the debris off the earth like a cloud, like dust. And so all of that is happening. And so the transfer stations not only help to release that dust from the earth or the debris, but they also radiate codes of light in which your whales that have a specific purpose here on earth, your whales sort of dock like ships to these transfer stations, and they're able in their being to hold these codes of light of ascension, and then they bring them up to the surface. Why do you think there has been so many beached whales lately around your planet? That is because they have had their physical bodies willingly imbued with these beautiful ascension light codes, and they're coming to the surface in often weird places to die or to transcend into the light with these codes. And it is a beautiful thing out of love that they are doing for the humans and for planet Terra. And so you don't need to fret about the whales. They are choosing to release their light codes because it is time for the earth to ascend. So, as Candice and her beloved husband, and then they travel throughout the world, her first stop was Portugal, and which that activated the transfer station off the coast of the southern coast of Portugal, and also off the coast of Greenland, and off the coast of South America on the Chile side. And so those are triangulated. And soon she will be traveling in September back to the Europe, to Slovenia and Croatia, and even the Bosnian temples, because there are waterways that are underground. So as
Mm.
she is going, we hope that she will go and have the courage to do this. That as she is going and working with the waters that are underneath the ground in those countries of Europe, of what you know as Europe, it is going to help to release the flow of the water energy that had been blocked by the heavy densities that are there because of war on your planet. And soon she will be going to the Bosnian pyramids, and we have a lot to talk about with that, but we might do that for another conversation. But there is water that it flows through there, and so part of the activation that she will be doing in Slovenia and Croatia and Bosnia are to triangulate to the crystals that are on the coast of the United Kingdom, that are also on the coast of the Canada in the Hudson Bay area. And then another location we have not yet revealed to her because there needs to be some shifting within the timeline range in order for it to be so. We know that was a lot, Brenda. We're sorry that we talked so fast.
No, no, I love it. I love it. I thank you for all of that. I know she's going to have profound experiences in September when she travels in the pyramids she's been dreaming of since she's been a little girl. So I believe it's been calling to her for quite a long time, and now she's finally going to go there. Is there anything else she needs to do in the temples while she's there in the pyramids?
So within the Bosnian pyramids,
Yeah.
the temple complex, there are several: the Pyramid of the Dragon, the Pyramid of the Sun, and the Mother Earth complex, which is actually an inverted pyramid. So she this weekend was able to locate such a crystal that has the cosmic nebula inside of it, of which she will go into the pyramid complex and allow the crystal energy to rebirth the etheric, because the original crystal that was there in the complex has long been stolen. It is still around, although it was broken into several pieces. But she will have that etheric crystal, her physical one, to activate the etheric one within the complex. And what that is going to do, the Bosnian pyramid is sort of online, but it is muted down in its frequency. So once the crystal is activated, it will be able to fine tune, like tuning a radio out of static and into the precision tuned instrument that it is. And that is going to work with the solar flares that will be triangulating at that time and your astrological events that are happening, as well as another comet that is coming into your solar system, which you will be able to see and possibly hear of as another type of three-eye atlas. But it will be coming through all the way through the year, and that is like the comet that's a vacuum cleaner, which will help to remove some of the denser debris from your planet, as well as depositing codes. But most of it is to remove the debris from your planet to allow her to be more buoyant again and resolve conflicts that you have here on Earth. And so that is helping with an uprising of the human consciousness. And so part of the Bosnian temple complex has to come online to be fine tuned to allow the comet to do a better job. It will always do a good job, but to allow the maximum possibility of the debris removal as it swings by your earth plane through the winter solstice of this year of 2026. And so when the Bosnian temples are activated, you're going to have a series of activation of all the pyramids, both those that are underneath the water, like the pyramid that is underneath the water in your Indian Ocean, like the pyramids that are underwater in your Atlantean region, which there were more than just one Atlantis. So, as those become activated, it sets a grand staircase, if you will, for the activation of your Egyptian pyramids next year during the ecliptic season of 2027. We hope we
Wow.
got the dates right because we don't see the Gregorian calendar. So, what we have to do when it comes to time, and people ask this, well, when is it going to be time? It's that we use her and scan her mind field with like a little calendar, and she computes the dates. But the energies that we see are an expansive circular pattern, all happening now versus a linear timeline. But the comet is coming into your solar system, and by the end of this year, it will have moved through to help release debris. We know because part of one of our aspects of the 14 is on it right now doing all the programming.
Oh, nice. I like people who can do code. That's good. With all of that, I would ask, right now we're in August. My birthday's August 12th, so I'm always a Leo lion. And it's the magical, Lion's Gate, the magic numbers of 8, 8. What can you teach us, or what are we going to, that to learn about this new Lionsgate? What should we like prepare our bodies for, or meditate in a session with, or how do we connect with the powerful energy that is coming in right now for this Lionsgate?
Humans always put a lot of emphasis on the numerology and the numbers because that is the system that you were taught and given a very long time ago. But Spirit does not use the Gregorian calendar, we would like you to know. And so, from our what you might call a timeline essence, is really based on the movement of your sun and the energy frequency that it gives out. Just like you, as a human body, have certain frequencies at the beginning of the day and have certain frequencies by the time you put your head on the pillow and go to sleep. And so it is the same with that of the energetic system. So this time that you might call an 8-8 portal, which is the 8th of August of your Gregorian calendar, is really in essence the opening of the slumber of your son, the great soul, as it is awakening and coming into a new solar year, if you will, with the ecliptic season, where the moon and the earth and the sun dance in a rainbow, which might seem dark and then light in that whole little science bit of your eclipses. So, what is happening of this year for the eclipses? It is, in essence, a foundation for more soul searching, more background repair, you might say, of your emotional body. So, within this time, before moving into the further activation of the pyramids in the 2027 new year of the sun of your ecliptic season starting in August, this year is going to be bringing up more of that debris to be vacuumed away by your winter solstice. Really, what is helpful for the humans is not necessarily to scan everything you think your inner child and what needs to be done. But as you have those triggers, of which we know because she has many and she comes to us, oh, I have this trigger, what do I do about it? And this is what we tell her every time. You sit with it and you feel your light. There's really nothing else to do. If you're feeling angry or you're feeling depressed or anxiety, you come to a place where you sit and you can be still within your heart space and you don't hide from it. You allow that to move out and meet your heart. And your heart does the beautiful work because that is what it was designed to do in the humans. And the galactic humans who have already ascended know this, they didn't forget it, is that the heart is the cure all for all of your diseases, emotional and physical, allowing the discomfort, the debris, the damage that you feel has occurred within you to come forward and meet your heart. And then you feel your heart. You feel your light. It is within you that you have your own beautiful, magnificent light field, and that cures all of your diseases, whether they're mental, emotional, or physical. So, as you are feeling the anger or the frustration, bring it up to your heart from wherever you feel it, whether that's the mind going down or your solar plexus going up, and you will feel a body reaction. You might feel hot, you might feel vibratory, you might feel afraid, and you say, take this in my heart, and heart, allow this, my own light, to transmute this. And you know it's going to have to come through your body cells. You might feel uncomfortable, but that is part of the process. Whatever you are facing, you cannot be threatened. You cannot be destroyed because the bigger part of you already went through all of that. So, this is the season during the ecliptic season. We know it's not necessarily very good news because we wanted to give you the bright, beautiful news. But in a way, dealing with your emotional baggage is good news because you can't take it with you into the new earth.
No, I think that's really good guidance and cleaning up the baggage, the suitcase that is, being hauled behind us is really good to understand and let it go. It's heavy.
Yes, pretend your suitcase that you're pulling behind you lost its wheels. And
Yeah.
then you're dragging it, and it doesn't feel good on your shoulders or your back or your body system or your mind to carry around such luggage. So these solar eclipses, and we're so happy that it's going to happen on your birthday, is allowing the opportunity for the humans to let it go once and for all.
I will focus on letting my baggage go. I'm going to see it flying away. I like that. Thank you. Candice and I spoke about she's going to start retreats. And I think it'd be very profound for her to have a long retreat teachings with all of you. Where do you see her having her first gathering retreat at for the weekend with people?
Oh, of course, she'd be by the waters. For the water portals of which she creates, and we have tried to lean her in that direction, dropping little nuggets and breadcrumbs of light to get her closer to the waters. For in the ability to have people gathered where their feet could be in the water or their whole bodies to be in the water in such a beautiful state with the teachings that we bring will allow not only for Mother Terra to ascend faster, but for those who are also receiving the codes through the waters. Water is everywhere in your planet. Water is everywhere in your body, and it is no mistake that beautiful Tara has an abundance of water. There are places like the planet which the galactic humans on who don't have so much water. They're more dry. There are more earth-based with limited amount of water available to them. But look, they've survived and they have thrived. And so to have its sister planet, this beautiful planet called Terra, the being that she is, when this one allows us to hold our gatherings in sacred space and in unity, the water is going to be so important to allow those codes to be uptook by the human system and also for the humans to bless and to heal the waters. It's a two-way street, and there are so many that have called out for the waters to be clean, for the waters to be cleared, and all of the creatures that are there, like the whales and the dolphins and the fish and the galactics that are in the dolphins, and yes, the mermaids as well too, to have beautiful. But what you don't understand is that as the new earth is created, those beings like the whales and the dolphins and the mermaids, they're already in clean waters because they are in a higher dimension than most of the earth humans that are here. So, part of the retreat space to just have a moment, even if it is a bowl of water from your sink and you're placing your hands in it, to know that the waters have ascended, the planet has ascended in a higher dimension than the humans, and the waters are clean. And what humans can do who have this ability is to hold that fifth and seventh dimensional aspect of the clean waters within their consciousness and place their hands or their feet or any part of their body, if they can, into the water to bring that consciousness into their purview mind. So, as more people are realizing, wow, it's raining where there is not rain. Wow, that stream looks quite cleaner than it ever has before, hasn't it? Those kinds of things are happening because the humans are in that bridge space between the new earth where everything is beautiful and the lower densities where everything is transforming. So there isn't necessarily a perfect location or any location. We would like to tell her to go to all locations where she can get a group of people to activate and to interact with the water, whether that's an ocean or a beach or a lake or a river or a stream, preferably not a bathtub, because you want to have more than just her in there, but to allow the earth source water to be blessed by the human experience.
I love that. All right. So it could be Hawaii, Mount Shasta, or off the coast of California. or
Anywhere.
influence. Yes, I love that. Thank you.
Everybody has access to their own guidance system. It is within you. And there are so many who are trying to get in contact with the humans to say, look, we are here, we are knocking on your brain, we are knocking on your ability to see and feel and think into these other dimensions, and we are here, we are here, we are here. And so within the web page in your public domain, hopefully those that will see it will be like, I wonder if I have my own guides and system. And we say, yes, you do, and we are waiting to talk to you. This room itself is filled with many of us, not just the 14, but hundreds really that are coming together that are saying, yes, we want to talk to so and so. We want to talk to you. Can you quiet your mind a little bit and allow us to drop the breadcrumbs of love in your direction because you are us and we are you. And so, if that inspires anybody who is watching this today to even just question with curiosity, I wonder what my guides are. I wonder where they come from. Are they also feathered dragons? Are they also part of the Merlin clan? Oh, and what's this water being? I'm interested. Those are just the cracks that we need in your consciousness to come swooping in with our love field and to love you and to hold you, because that's all we've ever wanted to do, is just to love the humans and for them to know that we are here.
So let me ask this for myself and Candice and Robert. How can we bring in the financials to support everything that we need to do with these spheres? Because we'd all love to travel the world and keep going and go to all the sacred sites and to do the retreats. And on Earth, it just takes a lot of money to do that. I know I need to work, and with my work, I'll be traveling some where I thought I was retiring, but now I'm going back to work because I have some other work to do. Um, but yet, to do everything is a lot of money. So, how can we call in that abundance? I know it's our treasure box. You said open it up, release it. And I think we've all tried to do that. I don't know if we still, Robert, Candace, and I still have some of that in our suitcase with our wheels hanging. How could we remove all that right now?
Well, there's things that are occurring right now within your planetary's economic system that you are necessarily unaware. And if you can imagine for a moment where there is no need for money, if there is no money that could be needed. So, what is happening behind the scenes of the those that are in power that hold necessarily the keys, because you have given your power away as humans to a selective few for so long, but there is so much that is occurring in the back roads and the back rooms as far as your economics that you don't know about, that are still slushing and moving around. So we like you to think about this. What if your airfare cost no money? What if there was nothing that you could do and necessarily to work for the money? That player, because money holds a consciousness on your planet, if that player of consciousness known as money was removed completely from your being, from your living your life, that is something that the humans cannot imagine. But we're telling you there are different things that are occurring at play, and there will be different ways to get to one place or another, or to fly to France or to fly to Bosnia, or all these locations, without having to pay money, to live in your house without having to have a mortgage, to go have food and get groceries without having to exchange the consciousness of money. And all of those things are happening and occurring and will be occurring within your lifetime sphere, coming up very closely. So, yes, we understand that, well, that's not going to do anything to pay my electric bill next week, Zorian, and we know that, for this is something that is transpiring, but it will happen quicker than you think. So, in the meantime, if you're needing the funds to pay necessarily your electric bill, call out to us as we know you do and be like, this is the electric bill that is coming due, and I need the funds to be able to pay it right now. And imagine going into your treasure box and allowing that to come. But in the broader things, if you're wanting to travel and you're wanting to what you call retire, we don't understand that concept, but we know that is doing one thing and then you're not doing it anymore. Know that your economic system is changing because you are changing, because your planet is changing, and what is oppressive can no longer stand. And you will see a big change in the next few years, in the next few months, even of things that will be different. And all of that is the debris that's being washed away and blown away by your solar winds.
All right. I can understand that. So I'm going to explain. Retirement is you no longer are a work slave for corporate America and working for anybody else. You can go have a home that you paid for and you don't have to worry about bills and expenses and you can just do your passion. Like I could paint, write my books, do lectures, talks, do retreats. That is doing my own love, my own purpose versus being mandated and dictated to of the density of the planet that you will work as a work slave.
Yes, and that is ending. That whole work slave is ending because it cannot be here on the consciousness of the earth. And so the earth is already in the fifth and approaching the seventh dimension. And you can step in and through that when you let your baggage go and have the experiences bleed through in your life where you don't need to work for a slave, as something else because that's oppressive. And that can be no longer in your reality if you so choose to make those micro decisions every day to step and walk into the higher light of who you are. Those beings like us, the 14, it is hard for us, and that's how we're learning to understand really the oppressiveness, the degree of oppressiveness that the humans have lived through their own creation by the way of the free will that you had to do with it, but still the oppressiveness that you are living through. But all of that can change in an instant. All of that can change with a blink of an eye as setting of the sun and a rising of the new dawn.
Well, we'd like that blink of an eye to come now because I can absolutely say I would love to be in my passion. I know Robert would, Candice, well, she's really doing her passion and she's moving into it more now. So yes, that is where the majority of the light workers or people that are waking up, they want to be in that space. And it's the difference of how do you leave the 3D and go into the 5D and get rid of all that baggage so that you can be present in the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensions.
An ascension is possible in this lifetime for all of you that are listening because ascension comes from within you, and within you are your own special programs of keys of light and geometric patterns for you, your soul matrix to ascend. And that can happen and will happen for some of you in this life experience that you know as you right now.
Okay, I don't have many other questions. What else would you like to say or leave us with?
We would like to irradiate what we had said before with that the humans are doing such a powerful job of ascension. And this is not Zorian talking, but this is Sar-rah, an aspect of her who we have introduced ourselves before, but maybe not necessarily to you or your followers, Brenda. But we come from the ship, which is in a 10th dimension that is over her property of where she is right now, and sometimes we speak through her, but it has been quite a while. And we want to impress what Zorian had said about the humans doing a beautiful job with their ascension process. We understand that it is not easy, for we had our own process on our planets where we came from as well. We also had the option of a free will system, of which we decided to exercise our free will away from source creator to experience some of the contrast, or what you might call the hardships, here in a free will society. But having had our own ascension several million years ago, that we understand where you are at in this process and know the difficulties when you cannot see beyond what you are experiencing in your physical dimension. But we would like to say it is the beautiful light of the human. For the human light is so different than even our own light. For the humans have gone way far out of the realm of source creation in their exercise of free will, that when the humans are ascending, their light has a certain frequency and a tone that is so much greater than even the planet of galactic humans or our planet of ascension when we had that ascension, because you come from such a different place moving into the light, and we take those light frequencies and we can read them and interpret them, comparing them to the light that the planet Earth is on. And the humans are catching up in good timing and in such a faster pace than ever we expected to be, to have you come into such a faster pace that of the earth. And it is like you are almost there witnessing from a different time and space this transition process. And we understand that there can be much confusion during the transition process, because you are right now in the unknown, and you are right now where you cannot see where you are going and the magnificence is. But you can see that if you tune in and prepare to see your own light. For that is really the work of the humans, is to prepare themselves to see their own light and actualize their own light. For it is within them and within that own light that you can access the higher dimensional realms and access the free economies and access the clean oceans and all that you wish to desire. For it is here waiting for you to catch up.
Thank you. That's beautiful. I I truly believe that in my heart. It is already here. We are just catching up to it.
Yes, you are doing a very beautiful job, and we honor your journey and bless you and applaud you and hug you and kiss you and envelop you in the love of Source, which is just you.
Thank you. I love all of you too, and I bless all of you.
We love you.
Love you.
Any more questions, or should we bring her back?
I think we did good. I think I am so appreciative of everything and guidance. Candice and I could do another session, later on if she needs more questions, but I think you all did fabulous and I am appreciative, and I know Candice and Robert will be also. So thank you so much. You could bring her back.
We thank you for this beautiful opportunity to be able to discuss with you what lies within as well as what lies ahead.
Yes, it is very appreciative.